Hello and welcome to our championship post-game report. Andy Hayes alongside Chris Bourassa and Bruce Bornarth here from Charlottesville, Virginia, where tonight we saw the Centreville Wildcats defeat the Oscar Smith Tigers, the nationally ranked Oscar Smith Tigers, 35-6. Bruce, I'll get with you in a minute because you'd like to talk, but Chris, let's break this down for a second here. This was a game everybody coming in kind of thought, no way Centreville has a real chance to win this one because of all the talent that Oscar Smith always has on the roster. But tonight, this Centreville team played with a little chip on their shoulder, and they dominated this football game.
Yeah, you could point to a lot of things. You could point to the Turner touchdown early, the turnover early, but what it really was dominating the line of scrimmage, both on the defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball. They dominated a very highly touted Oscar Smith front line.
You know, we listened to both coaches talk about this game. It wasn't like there was anything spectacular that they said that was the difference. It was just the better team tonight was Centreville on the field. They could play 10 times and it may be different, but tonight in this game, Centreville dominated up front. And that was something that I don't think either one of us thought they could do going in, with Andrew Brown being the guy they had to go through, the National Player of the Year, was standing on the other side, but he was not a factor tonight.
The coaches mentioned schemes, but I don't really think that's what it was. It was man-to-man matchups. The guys on the Centreville side of the ball won the man-to-man matchups more often than Oscar Smith did. It was that simple. That's how they controlled the line of scrimmage.
Well, tonight Centreville got a great performance from A.J. Turner, which is no shock here. We've watched it since he began his career at Centreville, just a tremendous player. Bruce, you kind of felt like when he took off and ran for that first touchdown that it was almost like at that point, they turned around and said, hey, we're as fast as Oscar Smith. We can run and we can score with Oscar Smith. That was a confidence booster tonight, wasn't it?
Well, it was. And I think that this Centreville team may very well be the fastest and the most athletic team that any team from down around the beach area has seen come out of Northern Virginia. And I don't know that going into this game or going into the hype into the season that Oscar Smith expected that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you look at the big interception. Xavier Nickens-Iser had a big pick in this game that really kind of started the snowball down the hill, so to speak. The interception return for a touchdown. A.J. Turner, like we said, played a great game. But how about Scott Walter? We'll go back to you for a second, Chris. All season long, everybody's talked about all the skill guys, and they're wonderful. But Scott Walter's been the linchpin to this team from day one. Tonight, he showed that again.
Yeah, with his legs, with his leadership, he's the senior out there. He runs the show. And clearly, he came out in this game on a mission to prove that Centreville was the best football team in the state. He did that today.
The Centreville defense holds Oscar Smith to 6 points, and that was set up by a turnover. They were close to a shutout. Centreville turned the ball over 4 times tonight. Chad Wiggins and crew really harassed the young freshman quarterback. They confused him all night long. That was the most impressive thing I thought about tonight. They took an offense that normally scores well into the 40s, and they nearly shut him out, Bruce.
Well, and I think Coach Haddock hit it in his press conference. I don't know that Oscar Smith has been behind by 14 points at any one point in this entire season. And the defensive scheme where they were coming from all different directions, and that young quarterback didn't know where they were coming from. It was a numbers game on the line of scrimmage. I think that Centreville outnumbered the blockers for Oscar Smith, and it almost came as simply as that. And Chris said it, both coaches said it in their press conferences. This was just a game that came down to who won the individual matchups, and it was Centreville winning more than not.
Well, certainly this is a great story. Centreville hires Chris Haddock back in 2010. The Wildcats at that point were pretty low from a football standpoint. They used to being a winning program. Now they need to revive everything, and Coach Haddock gets the call. Chris Bourassa, single best hire in the Northern Virginia area, as Coach Haddock's now taken them to 2 state title games, winning tonight the first since 2000 for the program.
You were there from the beginning. The first day of practice, he told them, we're going to do the little things right. The big things will take care of themselves. They've done that for 4 years, and they find themselves 15-0, the best team in Virginia.
All right, so there you have it, our championship post-game report done here from Charlottesville, Virginia. I want to thank everybody at the VHSL for all the help today. We sure had a good time calling the game, and we want to congratulate the Centreville Wildcats on a great run, 15-0. They are the best team in the state of Virginia. For Chris Bourassa and Bruce Bornarth, I'm Andy Hayes. We'll see you next year for some more high school football right here on the Gameday Broadcast Network.
Well, first off, we're obviously really excited. We beat a really good football team today, and these three guys up here and the other 67 kids are, I think, a pretty special group. And we started a long time ago over the summer talking about today's game. And we really felt like that we had a special group of kids. We certainly, as you guys saw, we have some talented kids. But we really felt like that we had a special opportunity this year. And I'm just really proud of how hard these kids worked. We push them really hard. We might be the only team in the state of Virginia that wears full pads every single day. We go 3 hours every single day. They don't get a minute off, and it paid off for them tonight. And we're just, again, really proud of their work. We're certainly proud of them as football players, but most importantly, we're proud of that they're high character kids, they're kids with integrity. And when you have those intangible qualities, those are the things that we really feel and we believe are championship caliber things. Having great football players is an extra bonus. So again, thank you guys for being here today. Thanks University of Virginia for having us today. It's a great venue. Thanks to the Virginia High School League for putting on a great event and a great tournament. And we're really proud to have won it. Thank you guys.
Scott, for you guys as the offense or just as a team, how big was it to jump out to that early lead as far as your confidence in your defense?
Against a strong D-line like Oscar Smith, getting in them early, like when we ran the midline in the first quarter, and Taylor was busting it, and I think the confidence part of it came along with the drives because we had them on the field and we kept just driving them, and I think it paid off obviously in the end because we just kept pounding it.
A sense of sort of what you guys did in the trenches to sort of dominate possession. I mean, Oscar Smith really hadn't had that done to him this season.
You looking at from Scotty or myself? Well, we really felt like, and these guys can echo it, we really felt like in all the films that we saw on Oscar Smith that nobody really went at him. And we felt like that was the right plan. We certainly knew that they had some great football players. But we felt like that we could run straight ahead against them. We felt like our speed could be matched by their speed, and so we felt like we wanted to be as physical as we could, and we felt like that we had certain plays and certain schemes that we felt very confident that we're going to be successful. We've run them all year. Really, our game plan every game this year has been let's work the outside and then we'll work back in. And today was just the opposite. We worked the inside to try and get out. And we feel pretty good about our plan. Our coaches did a great job putting that plan together. And the kids just did a great job executing it.
Coach, on the other side of the ball, you guys have had some problems with South County and Stonewall Jackson. Some offenses that were a little bit athletic. How were you able to come in today and hold these guys to six?
Well, I think those games helped us prepare for today. And Stonewall Jackson has one of the most dynamic kids in the state, and Greg Stroman, and I think we did a pretty solid job against him. South County has a pretty dynamic scheme that I think gave us, not any one of their particular players, I think, but the scheme gave us some trouble. But I think both of those games, going down 21-0 to South County, gave us, I think, some and then coming back, gave us some great fortitude there. And then being able to play against kids like Stroman, DeMornay, Pearsonell at West Potomac's going to Nebraska. We've played against some dynamic players. Tyler Thrasher Walker at Westfield. Those are some pretty good players. And we felt like that prepared us for today. They certainly have a lot of weapons too. But I think that we were able to get a lot of pressure on them, and I think that made a big difference. And our coaches did a great job preparing our kids, and they did a great job executing on both sides.
Coach, how much did your confidence grow or even explode off that pick six that put you up 2 possessions on them? I think that really was a big play today.
That was a big play, and we had actually kind of joked this week that, boy, would it be great if we had a defensive score. And to get one like that so quickly certainly was a big boost. I think they were probably more shocked than we were excited. I don't think that anybody has been up 14 points on them all year. We felt like with that lead and with that momentum that we might be able to just grind the ball a little bit, and we were able to do that. I guess we had over 300 yards on the ground today against that defense. I think says a lot about these kids.
kind of like what Brandon had asked, jumping out to that quickly, especially when you scored on the game's opening possession, what did that do for your confidence? Obviously, you individually had a big game as well.
I think it built my confidence a lot. At first I was kind of nervous. The D-line is really good and the linebackers really solid. But once after I scored the first time, I was like, they're not unstoppable. I'm definitely capable of doing what I'm doing.
And Chad, kind of like it's been asked about the defense. I mean, all year you've been getting in the backfield against people, but again, this is probably your toughest challenge all year. So what did you guys feel like you prepared well or just did well today as a defense to shut them down?
It was preparation. Every day in practice, we go through it. We know each play before it's going to even be snapped, and that was the key this week. Is we needed to study hard and we needed to come out ready to play, and that's what I think we did. And like I said, it's all about preparation.
Coach Haddock, 4 years ago, you stepped foot on campus, got your first senior class here this year, all 4 years. Talk about those guys and what they meant to the program, because obviously it's a huge deal for them in this sport.
Well, I said that to those guys this week that 4 years ago, we tried to start something, and the senior class is obviously a special group. I'm happy for them that they were able to leave here with a state championship. They deserve it. They've earned it, and it's a special blend of kids. We've got an experienced, gutsy quarterback. We have a tough linebacker. We have a gritty center who's undersized, and a 180-pound guard, and a 190-pound tackle, and Brandon King and Greg Austin and Josh Smith. And those guys have had heck of a year. Now I've said for a long time, and some really good coaches have said before me, that if you're going to have a championship type season, your seniors have to have the best year of their lives, and our seniors without question did that.
Scott, there was a sequence where I think you guys were at 21-0, and you ended up throwing a pick, and the defense got it back one play later. I think you ended up scoring on a good sneak, but was that kind of an emotional? I know you saw 3 touchdown leads, kind of comfortable, but all of a sudden it goes to, oh my God, you threw a pick, and then you get it back and score. Was that kind of a roller coaster right there? What was that sequence?
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster after I threw the pick, but I got to the sideline and Coach Fox came over to me and was like, "Shake it off. We'll get the ball back." And as soon as that happened, we got the ball back and went down and scored. So.
You obviously knew you guys were playing against a freshman quarterback. Did you guys feel like if you could get some momentum, maybe getting back to it early, that would make a difference today?
Definitely. I mean, like you said, he's a freshman quarterback. He's coming in with a lot of nerve. We thought if we get to him early and we blitz on him and hit him a lot and rattle him up, that's gonna be a key to winning the game.
Coach, this season you played Westfield in a torrential downpour just like tonight. In that game, you beat Westfield 28-0. You guys didn't hesitate one bit. Didn't look like you missed one beat in that ball game tonight. Same situation, and you dominated a nationally ranked team. Did that game come back to help you tonight, dealing with the conditions?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now we did make a couple mistakes. I think that were probably due to the weather, but I think for the most part, our kids weren't concerned about it at all. We talk about that type of thing all the time, that we'll play in the rain, the snow, the 100 degrees, we'll play in a parking lot, we'll play in a beautiful stadium. These kids just love to play. And I think that they looked at today as an opportunity. We've drawn on a lot of past experiences in some big games, and certainly that game against Westfield in the rain certainly was one of those times.
Now that you guys completed a 15-0 season, nobody played within 3 touchdowns of you. How do you kind of think of that in a historic perspective? I mean, clearly, you guys are down as one of the better teams of all time.
Well, that's certainly flattering. I hope that that's true. I certainly think this is it's certainly the best team that I've ever been around in 21 years of coaching high school football. We're the best team in the history of Centreville High School. 15 wins has never been done, and it may have never been done in the northern region with the new format, et cetera. So I guess that there was a little bit of history there. We actually talked to our kids a lot about our place in history, and and setting a higher standard, and that's something that the kids wanted to do. They wanted to make history, and we've, I don't know where you place us in the all-time teams, but we're certainly one of the best in Northern Virginia, and we're definitely the best at Centreville.
Coach, it's a historic season, but you've got so many juniors coming back next year. I mean, what are your expectations for 2014?
Well, they're high. I mean, certainly. We'll worry about that on Monday. We've got a good group coming back, but again, it's not about talent. It's not. You know, that team in the other locker room has a heck of a lot of talent too. And so, you know, for us, it's not about the talent returning. It's about the chemistry and the team concept and the intangible qualities that we work really hard, you know, on perfecting with, you know, having responsibility and integrity and character. And if we're able to continue to grow in those areas, then yeah, we could have another special season.
Speaking of talent, do you have a particular game plan in the way you're going to try to block him around?
Well, no question. I mean, he's the Gatorade Player of the Year, you know, not for nothing. I mean, he's a special player, and we did have a plan with him. We were going to either cut him, double team him, read him and leave him alone, run away from him. We were going to try and do something different with him on every play. You know, we went on multiple snap counts all night. Give them a lot of credit. They never jumped, which speaks to their discipline. But we wanted to do a whole bunch of different things to him and to a couple of their defensive linemen, trying to keep them off balance. And we didn't get him to jump, but I think that the different schemes that we threw at him, I think, kept him off balance. But he's still one heck of a football player. Well, I've been born and raised in Centreville and have grown up in that community my whole life, and so it's certainly very special for me. But these guys can tell you, we got great fans. You know, our administration supports what we do. You know, our community supports what we do. I've received, you know, multiple emails, not just this week, but all year. Coach, if there's anything you need, just let me know. We've got people all over our town that are coming through for our program, pretty much whatever we need. So it's been extremely gratifying to bring a championship back for those people. You know, they put in a lot of hours too and shell out a lot of dollars. And like I said, I told them in our pep rally on Friday, I think we live in the best community in the state, and we got the best fans in the state, and now we got the best football team in the state.
And that's it. The clock hits 0, and the road to glory is complete. The Centreville Wildcats are your 2013 6A state champions. Oh my, what a story. And what a turnaround.
Well earned, well earned.